Hello everyone, let's learn a new word today. And the word is gauge. This is the word, gauge. Okay, here in the first picture, you can see a gas gauge or a fuel gauge. Here you can notice, puteți remarca, you can notice that the car has gauges. So these are the car gauges. Okay, now let's see the first sentence. The oil pressure gauge gauges the pressure. Okay, so, or the gas gauge gauges the gas, of course, or gauges the fuel. Now, let's see the second sentence. I checked. So what did I do? I checked the fuel gauge. And it was reading, it was indicating full. So it was full, okay? So it wasn't necessary to fill up the tank. It wasn't necessary to fill up the tank. Okay, so I checked, I verified the fuel gauge. Now, by the way, apropo, by the way, here you can see in this picture unleaded fuel only. So what does it mean? Înseamnă fără plumb. Unleaded fuel only. Doar fără plumb, da? Combustibil fără plumb. Something like that. Okay, let's see the next slide. So, pay attention. Stay with me. Don't give up. Also, gauge can mean the distance between rails. So this is a gauge. Okay, gauge. The distance between rails. This is a rail, this is also a rail. Or the spacing, spațiul, da? The spacing of the rails. Now, our last slide. Stay with me. Vreau să vă arăt cum putem folosi în limbajul de zi cu zi acest cuvânt. Gauge. Okay? So, it will be hard to gauge the benefits of doing that. It will be hard to gauge the benefits. Second one, it's difficult to gauge accurately my influence on others. It's quite difficult to gauge accurately, exactly, my influence on others. Okay? Now, I managed it. I managed it. I succeeded. I managed it because I gauged what I could handle or not handle. So that's why I managed it. I succeeded because I gauged what I could handle or not handle. And the last one, I gauged his reactions because he didn't have a poker face. So that's why I gauged his reactions, because he didn't have a poker face. Okay, poker face. So you could also say he had or he didn't have an impassive face. Yes, impassive face, a blank expression. Okay, so poker face, practic, o față care nu poate fi citită, da? Like Vladimir Putin. Yes, he has a poker face. So it's hard to read his emotions. Yes, his face doesn't express any emotions. So, to gauge, to measure, to determine, to estimate, to judge, to appraise, să faci o apreciere, da? To appraise, apreciezi cam cât, how much, something like that. You appraise, or you fill out, Okay, so to gauge. So aveți multe cuvinte pe care le puteți folosi. Thank you for watching. Ne vedem în lecția următoare.